Where's the flag? Oh, first thing is the pledge allegiance to the flag.
All right, Dolly.
All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
They got hold of Trump.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, they brought a helicopter out.
We're at a water meeting. We'll just stick to the basics here.
And they're heading for Woody's house to drop him off.
All right. Okay. We approved the minutes. Okay. Let's
You were
approve the minutes of March 8th.
I signed it. You signed it.
All right.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes of March 8th, 2023.
So moved. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that's that. All right, we signed the warrants and reviewed them.
That is correct. Those are all set.
Okay, Mr. O'Brien, you are up.
Thank you, Mr. Acting Chairman.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, first off, I'd like to ask a question or maybe make a comment. The John Esposito room in the other room with the plaque,
Don't embarrass me now.
that's for you?
Yeah.
For the work you did here?
Yeah.
You didn't charge them for doing all this work?
Hey, I want this building to be here, and we were all determined that it was going to happen.
Well, from somebody who does it for a living and who rents equipment and runs equipment and some other people that I know do it, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You should have a permanent seat on that board.
Well,
I don't know.
not a permanent seat.
People understand what kind of money, you probably saved them $100,000.
Oh,
Yeah, right. A week, you mean?
To three?
$1 million.
probably.
$5 million, probably said.
You want to do my work?
Well, I'm going to have to make this job up somewhere, so it's gonna have to be yours.
Well, good luck on Saturday.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Again, congratulations. Board members, my name is Kevin O'Brien. I'm sure you probably all know. I'm here tonight, this afternoon. I sent in an email requesting to be on the board. Send the water main from Beale Street. From Beale Street down to West Townsend, up West Townsend to Howard, from Howard to my subdivision and into the subdivision, 500 feet to the boundary line. The board may remember, or people on the board may remember, everybody remembers, back in January of 21, January 27th of 21, I was before the board asking for something I'm asking for now.
I guess.
Unfortunately, you get more paperwork, sorry about that. What I've given you is a copy of the special meeting, district meeting minutes from January 27th of 2021, and I've given you a copy of Chapter 17, Act of 1939. My opinion, looking at the act, if you go through it and looking at the special meeting that we've had, we all know that I've been here probably for the last 3 or 4 years trying to do something with the water. If you go back to the special meeting notice on page 2, at the bottom of the page, it's been highlighted. At the time, Richard Locken, who was your attorney, was attorney for the water district, after I asked if we'd had plenty of conversation. He responded that, he stated that no water mains can be installed if they are not in the district, but the water still could be sold to the developer if he wanted to set something up inside the district boundaries. What I am proposing to do is bring the water main out and bring it in 500 feet into the property to the district boundary, this being the district boundary. Put a meter pit and start a water company and sell to myself. On the third page, you see some other items that are circled and outlined. Sorry, Matt, but one of the things is about you saying that, you know, this could open up more development in the town. We all know that that's a possibility. Absolutely. It's never been something that I didn't know because it's so far out there. One of the things I think the water department could do if they approved this, or even if they didn't approve it, it would have to be approved, of course, but that you put a moratorium on the water tie-ins for 10 years, 5 years, a year, whatever, to allow the water department to catch up if that was the need, if they didn't have enough water. On the fourth page, it says something, you know, superintendent, I believe that's you, Frank, so the superintendent was going on, was telling people that we would need booster stations along the way, and that we could put underground pits for pump stations, which is not a concern. Last thing I had circled down there is, and I had it circled for the reason that Jerry Lonnie with Lonnie Orchards of 292 Chase Road, I thought the development would be good for business, or of course can. I've talked to Jerry Lonnie quite a bit about the water. Actually, I met with him again this afternoon. The way I read your bylaw, or your act of not from 1939, on the second page, it says section 2, for the purposes aforesaid, the district acting by and through its board of water commissioners hereinafter, I believe that would be you guys, provided for, may contract with any municipality acting through its water department, or with any water company, or with any water district for whatever water may be required. Your own lawyer back in January said that I could do this. That I could set up a water company and that we could do something. He didn't say specifically a water company. My issue with this is that I have been stating all along that I would be willing to set up a water company, and that what Mr. Watkins said, I said I will start my own water company and sell to myself. There's no kidding ourselves. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sell it to myself in the project. Your attorney at the time, Richard Locken, asked how will we control it if I don't pay, which to me is a little discriminative, but I'll get on with my life. And I said that you would shut the water off. He said, you can't. You can't, you and you are. Fran replied, the superintendent said that what we do with everybody there is smart. I even offered to bond to secure the payment. I offered to bond to secure the payment. We know that Kevin O'Brien's not the only one that's been trying to get water out there.
Thank you.
I highlight on the first page into the second page. That's Mr. Lonnie of Lonnie Orchards on Chase Road. going to the planning board. Now, I know this doesn't have anything to do with you, but it does have to do with me. Because if you look at that second page down the bottom, it says Arrow Estates, so I was at the meeting anyway. Mr. Lonnie was told that they would, he's, as I talked to him again this afternoon, he would definitely like to have water and sewer because that would certainly help his business dramatically. If you read the paragraph, it specifically states that some of the members were in agreement that, they should have, I'll read it. Matt Allison is in favor of expanding the infrastructure in town. Paula Bertram, Key Bertram, noted that when she was on the sewer commission, there was discussion of expanding sewer onto Chase Road, but there could be some unintended consequences created by additional development/growth with the availability of sewer. E. Bertram made motion to schedule a workshop to discuss infrastructure and potential development. That, of course, was never done. Mr. Lonnie never heard about it. I have been talking to the water department, and I've never heard anything about it. So. After I went to the meeting in March of 2021 where I was denied the extension of the water district, I applied for a 40B comprehensive permit. People from town, different departments got the reply. One of the ones I point to is Paula Bertram. The bottom of the page, the highlighted section says, 3 lines or 4 lines up from the bottom, as stated in section 1 of your 1939, section 17. The Lunenburg Water District was created for the purpose of supplying themselves with water for the extinguishment of fires and for domestic and other purposes. The legislature does not allow for the supply of water outside of the confines of the district. It does say that. But, as she went on, thank you, Paula, the only mention of operating outside of the boundaries is contained in section 2, which allows for the water district to contract with any municipality acting through its water department or with any water company or with any water district for whatever water may be required. Your letter from the water department to the ZBA. I don't want to give you too many.
You're wasting trees.
Exactly. In here, you said according, the second paragraph or the third paragraph says, according to the Lunenburg Water District cannot provide water service to the project, as the water district is not authorized to sell water outside the grounds of the district. That was sent to the ZBA on or about October 6th. At a ZBA meeting, I asked the ZBA if I could meet with the water department and the sewer departments to say hypothetically if I was to prevail, what we would want to do in your department and with things with water. On November 16th of 2022, we had a meeting and we talked about 4 things. 1, water to the boundaries, start my own water company, sell to myself. 2, install a holding tank outside the water district. 3, install a well outside the water district. And 4, can ZBA step in the water district's shoes? I asked that you get feedback from your attorneys. That was on November 16th. On December 14th, You've got feedback from your attorneys. And in this feedback, it pretty much talks about the water tank. Doesn't say anything about extending the water to the district property line, and it doesn't say anything about the well. The things that I've got underlined, fourth line down, it says, in addition, Section 2 of the 1939 Act authorizes the district to acquire, by purchase or otherwise, any lands necessary for water supply purposes. I assume that if the water tank project can work, the district would need to acquire at least an easement in the location of the tank for construction and maintenance purposes, and this clause would authorize that, in my opinion, physically. But again, it says the property is needed for conveying water to any part of said district, so it is not clear under the Act whether it contemplates the district would sell water outside the boundaries. Excuse me. Parentheses. Although it does, it says it, although it does expressly prohibit that either. I would think it was probably supposed to read, although it doesn't
Kevin.
expressly prohibit that either.
I can let you know, you had requested when you sent this letter to follow up with KP regarding that, and he did respond, the email that KP just sent that I printed you.
Yep, it is right here.
He did say,
It's on the second page. Is that from?
well, that's the letter. Following up on our conversation, which I have understood, he did mean to say, does not. I should have highlighted it, hang on.
But that's okay, it means what I
Okay.
thought.
What you questioned, what you questioned in the email, I forwarded to our legal counsel, and they did respond saying, yes, he is correct in assuming that I did,
So in the parentheses,
yes,
if I'm correct,
yes,
although it doesn't expressly
Yes.
prohibit that either. I would think, we've talked about, Dick Larkin, Richard Larkin talking about this before. Maybe they looked at it, I'm not trying to put words in anybody's mouth. He also goes into the next paragraph. There also could be an enforcement issue down the road if the district supply water outside the district and the customer stops paying. Again, as I said earlier, a little discriminative, but we all know it gets turned off, and that's the way it gets taken care of. I sent an email to this department on January 10th asking for application and materials and rules and regs, which was did send me got. I'm not going to give you copies of it. There's no need for that. But there is no application in there. That's why at the beginning I used my email as the application. That's my way of looking at the legal way of asking for it. This is the end of the pass outs, guys. And KP Law, your attorney, was asked again to respond to some of the things that we were talking about. In their letter, it came back, the second paragraph says, in the act, the water district can expand the district boundaries only by approval of registered voters that reside in the district. We all know that. I've accepted that by the vote. Accordingly, the Lunenburg Water District cannot provide water service, the project, I think it should say to the project, as the water district is not authorized to sell water outside the boundaries. Previously, in parentheses that I just read from one of the other lawyers at the KP law firm, the email, it said that it really doesn't exclude it. So the next paragraph down says, here a vote of the owners of the district is a prerequisite required to allow the district to expand to even allow the district to sell water to the applicant. I think they keep, nothing's ever dealt with can I bring a water main out to the 50-foot, the 500-foot boundary, the water boundary. What I'm asking for tonight is to first be able to allow the water to be brought out to the boundary, I pointed to earlier. Cut it off at 500-foot point, we won't be putting water into the beyond the water district. There was something that came up, I think you might have brought it up, Matt, about something about me going out for a petition out there. If you look at Chase Road, you can see the plan and the profile. This point right here is probably the highest point, which is probably in this neck of the woods. They don't go directly above, but it's probably up in this neck of the woods, close to Beale Street. If you go to West Townsend Road, you can see there's a high point here, neck of the woods, that drains down this way and comes down off of Chase Road. It comes down here. So that's a low spot at Chase Road and West Townsend Road. If you look at Harvard Street, this is where I am up here. That's a high point. That's a low point. That low point is right about here where the wetlands crossing or where the pipe goes across the road. There's three people that own property down here. On the right-hand side is Gary Burton and Harry Kubats. On the other side of the road, I don't know if this one or this one, I think it might be this one right here, is Chris Sena. And next to him is the Skozaks. I approached them, the three of them. I talked to the Skozaks, I talked to Harry, and Chris called me back. I left paperwork in his drawer. I gave them a copy of this plan right here in a smaller form that could probably be read a little bit more, a little bit easier. My reason for approaching them is, if I put water and sewer out here, I'm not going to keep flipping the pages. If I put water and sewer out here, the logical place to put pumps would be on the low point, whether it's a water pump, a booster pump, or a sewer pump. What happens if I put sewer out here? If I put a pump down here, all this is gravity, all this all the way up to West Townsend Road and halfway up West Townsend Road at the high point, with all gravity down to here. From the high point on West Townsend Road, I don't know. From the high point on West Townsend Road down to the intersection with Chase Road is the low spot. This point and this point meet. That's the low point right here. So if you go up, that's the high point right there. This could all be gravity, sewer. The majority of this could probably be gravity sewer down to A at the gas station, at the Gulf gas station. If not, we'd have to put a force main in. A force main has to be put in anyway, push everything on to 2A. It makes sense to put gravity in for the people that are going to have to tie in. Otherwise, they're going to have to put force mains in, or the environmental ones into the system. So my reason for meeting with those three people was to get permission from them one way or another to put a pumping station on one of their lands. I told all three of them, it doesn't matter to me, because if I don't put a pumping station here, we all know that the stuff flows downhill. If I don't put it here, I'm going to put it on my property, and I'm going to push the crap all the way up to Chase Road, the corner of Chase Road, put another pumping station there and go up to 2A. I won't even bother with anybody else. I've been trying for 15 years with this town. There's nothing to do with you guys, but I've been trying for 15 years with this town to try and get something going over here. what I've got in there now, nobody has liked the subdivision. I don't care. I'm sorry, I'm trying to sound like a smart ass, but I'm done. This is what I'm asking from this board. I'm asking you to approve the water main extension. If you don't, that's okay. I know you're gonna catch heat from people, everybody in town. I just assume you say, no. Would. Then I'll just take it to court and I'll get a judge to make that decision. It just makes it easier for everyone involved. Again, that's my presentation. If you got any questions, I'm here. Sorry.
No, I'll go first if you want. I appreciate your presentation, a lot of information that I have actually been following this for quite a while, as you've noted. I'm going to give you my position on this. I know where you're at, but as me as sitting here as a water commissioner and taking in mind my job here is, be, I guess, the voice for the people in the water district. I realize that this has gone to the ZBA for the 40B project, and that's gone every which way. But as of right now, it's gone to this HAC court. That's where that decision is going to be made in some due time, whether that 40B works or not, or how that all plays out. It is my position at this point that I will not give you an answer, yay or nay, on this, until I hear the decision from what the HAC has to say on this issue.
I don't know if I can answer, have a little bit of a rebuttal. What the HAC is deciding is if the ZBA has the authority to step in your department's shoes.
Correct.
Okay? What I'm asking you is, aside from them dealing with that, and I'll get into that in a second, I'm asking you to tell me if I can put water out there. I haven't even described what I want to put out there, the sizes or anything. I just want to know if the board's, again, it's, you're easy as voters, no. It just makes it easier for all of us. And because no matter what happens at the HAC, whether I win or the town wins, someone's going to take the court. Because I know
Sure.
I will. And I know damn right well the town will. They've been doing it for 15 years. I know it. So it's not like I'm a stranger, like, oh, maybe they won't. I know it's going to happen.
Sure. I understand, but that's my position on this. I'm one of three on this board, but that's where I stand.
All right, my thought on the whole thing is that, excuse me, I mean, I understand being in the business, the map and the gravity, the pump station and all that stuff, and there's a lot to go through on the presentation here. But I'm gonna have to, my decision rests on two things. First of all, it's the voters voted no. Our attorney says no, and I'm gonna have to go with them. I'm gonna go no also.
And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
I don't want you to be mad at me.
Make the decision and I'll move along.
Okay.
Again, there's not gonna be any hard feelings. You guys have made it very clear that you'd like to do something out there if I prevail, and we'll still do that. I just need, if you don't vote, I can't go further. So I just assume you just say no, you just be a no, you don't have to give me any reasons, just no, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
Just to keep you up to speed on it, as you just said, the HAC, we did file an appeal. The Board of Appeals did finally agree to let us, to collectively with us. Again, I don't want anybody saying, oh, Kevin used the wrong that or this, because I get crucified with that, it seems. Okay, you can. We had a hearing with them yesterday. We appealed it a week ago, Thursday.
What did they appeal, Mr. Chairman?
We had a hearing with the HAC yesterday.
What did you appeal?
The Board of Appeals denial of the two waivers, one for the water
Yep.
and one for the sewer.
Okay.
We collectively agreed with them, their lawyer, my lawyer, which you will at the meeting.
Sure.
That if you were at the meetings at one point too. We said, look, let's just stop where we're at and move, let's just get the HAC to do it. We appealed it, they denied it, because that's the way it's supposed to do it, they denied them. We appealed it. We got the appeal in a week ago Thursday, and we had a hearing yesterday. Yesterday morning at 10 o'clock. Just to give you guys a little heads up, they're gonna have another hearing in 2 more weeks.
Okay.
They asked that if the sewer department would be, I'm using the right word, a participant in the case. They asked Adam Foster, who was on the call, on the Zoom call. He said he believed that, the sewer department wouldn't have any problem with that, but he would have to ask him. Then the woman asked if the water department would have a problem participating. And Adam said, I don't represent the water department, so I can't say. He got the job from the woman, I think she's an attorney for the UJC, of calling a lawyer that he knows from Parliamentary and asking if they would participate. The only reason I tell you that, well, not the only reason, I'd never tell you it anyway, but my thinking is if you don't have another meeting for another 2 weeks, we meet 2 weeks from yesterday. So if you had a meeting in 2 weeks, it's the next night. So you might want to just discuss it and say, hey, maybe we, tell our lawyers, yeah, they can participate, or no, we don't want to participate.
Okay.
Just food for thought, FYI.
I thought originally, if you don't mind me, you said you had 4 questions for the board.
Yep.
Can you just restate
One was,
those?
Can I put a meter pit in?
Okay.
2, can we put a holding tank in
Yep.
outside the district?
Understood.
3, can we put a well in outside the district? And the 4th, do you guys agree that the zoning board of appeals should send it to us?
Okay. Okay. You have my answer. I don't know if we can, I don't think we can make a decision, yes, no decision tonight, because Mark's not here, and I obviously want his input on this too, but, that's,
Now, if you wait till your next meeting and you wait for Mark, does that require him to just look at the paperwork?
sure.
Okay, so we just, not because he wasn't physically here, that is not gonna hold him back from,
No, I mean, I would appreciate the third member on the board to,
That's fine.
basically at this point,
Yeah.
we're in disagreement, you know what I'm saying? And he's the last one. John wants to do a hard no, and my answer is I don't want to answer this yet, and I don't want to give you a firm no. I feel that this issue, I would not want to make a decision that may, hurt the water department, come to the future decision of what the HAC may finally say on this entire project as a whole. I understand you have great arguments here. There's some language of the lawyers that I interpret differently. I'm not a lawyer by any means, but so I'm hesitant to give a 100%.
that's the issue I have, not with you.
No, I understand.
Not with you, just that everything's interpreted differently by
Sure.
me, by you,
Sure.
we all interpret it differently. I just assume, just say, okay, let's, like we did with the zoning board of appeals.
I-
Just deny me, and I'll go with it, and I'll go to court, and I'll just get it moving from the judge. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna be the only one there.
Well, I'll be.
My lawyer will be there, your lawyer will be there,
Sure.
and they'll argue the books.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want to go to court. I don't want to spend any more money on legal fees. We
You
spend.
think I wanna be in?
Not at all. But so I mean that's just in 2 weeks we'll have our next meeting, and I will have a definitive answer for you.
I can live with that.
Okay.
Not to interrupt, but I think it's 3 weeks.
I'm sorry.
Because March happens to have
The
5 weeks in it, so our next meeting isn't until April 12th. Yeah, because we have the 5 weeks.
Okay.
We have 1, 2,
Okay.
3 weeks. So
And
April
3 weeks,
12th is
Mr.
our, I know you'd mentioned that the other one was 2 weeks away, so I didn't want you to,
No, I'll go with the date you said.
no, you were talking about that your hearing was in 2
the
weeks.
hearing-
And
the
ours
hearing
is
is in 2 weeks.
Yes, ours is 3 weeks, so I didn't want you to,
So that's why I tell you guys,
Yeah.
it was 2 weeks or 3 weeks. 3 weeks even more. You might want to just discuss it between yourselves and say,
Well, we can't basically open meeting law, but we will give you a more definitive answer than tonight.
No, I appreciate that. I'm just saying with the HAC.
Correct.
You know, because your lawyer's gonna be calling you and, you know, if
Oh,
you
yeah.
have to have a special meeting, you know, I'm trying to hopefully prevent that for you, but.
Okay. All right.
Can you
Yeah.
ask for, seeing people have come here, do you have a problem if we ask for input from?
We were going to go to public comment next, I believe. John's running the show.
Close and-
No, we're not.
Come on.
No, there's no close, but
I guess we're gonna have public comment.
And-
Anybody got any comment? I guess not.
I do. I was
No.
waiting for these.
Okay.
Dave Rogers, 82 Hyman Street. We've talked this afternoon about a whole host of different things. But I'm zeroing in on one aspect of what we've gone through. And that is the procedural steps required to expand the water district. And that's done by the folks that are in the water district. And they decide what they want to do. Okay? And twice we've brought it back to the people in the district, and their vote has been no. And I don't mean to be crass about this, but it doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter what you say. Or anybody of any power on this committee. Why? Because the people decide. That's what happens. You can't arbitrarily or capriciously decide that you want to do something. It's got to come from the people. And the people have spoken. Okay? It's really pretty straightforward. I mean, this to me is just another way to circumvent the realistic program that is set out to get folks into the district. And it's not going to happen because this is just another way to, as I said, circumvent this. People have spoken, done. So I think proponent's point is well taken. That bring it on to the court of last resort, so-called, and we will, look for a judicious decision, and whoever does not prevail has the right to go on to the next step, and the next step, and the next step. And I'm confident that the parties on this side of the issue will do that. So, it's pretty straightforward to me.
Mr. Chair, I think.
he's the chair.
Mr. Chair.
Chair today.
Well, you guys are being the chair.
Yeah, I got elected today. Yeah.
Keep going, he will get the
So I guess my question, Dave, would be, do you agree that they should just deny it? I shouldn't be able to put that water main out, extend the water main. So they should just say, no, Mr. O'Brien, your request that you sent in with that email should be denied.
based upon that which has been discussed and voted on, yes. Yeah,
I knew you were gonna say it. I was just
yeah. Well, I didn't want to disappoint you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
You see, that's my point here, is we keep kind of going around, and I appreciate what you're saying. But we keep going round and round.
Sure.
I understand you don't have to remember that much more, so it's fine. That's why I'm just saying that I guess I'm done with the round and round. I've been here for probably the last 4 years asking for this, because I think it makes sense, because it helps my project, of course. But I think it makes sense for the water department too, because it's one of the highest places in town. You get the water tank, maybe we can put a well out there, maybe not. But the first thing is I want water.
You gotta have one.
Well, I could probably put wells out there, but water would make, I thought, a lot more sense.
suppression. For fire suppression.
Yeah, you'd have to put a cistern in or a tank in to hold the water. So, we've already talked about that. We've already talked about cisterns, for water, for fire protection. And you have to put a, whatever, 10, 20, 35, I mean, if Mark was here, he could tell us what we need to fight a fire. But he is on vacation, I do not.
Yeah.
So,
ask a question?
we're aware of that, but it certainly makes more sense than water.
You guys shouldn't be having a conversation.
Correct.
You can listen.
Because it's, you gotta talk to us.
Oh, all right.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
well, no, I mean,
Something I said, forget it.
Say it
Can I ask
again.
one question? Any idea what the time frame is for the HAC to,
Well, I gotta tell you, when we put the appeal in on Thursday, a week and a half ago, and they had a hearing yesterday, that's 12 days.
so it could be something pretty rapid, so,
Be something.
so,
I'm not even gonna,
you don't know?
I'm hoping it keeps going like that,
Okay, I was just trying to get an idea.
but even if the board, even if the HAC took longer or shorter or whatever, the board's still gonna be, the HAC is acting on, does the zoning board have the right to step into your shoes? I don't think they're gonna be, could we get to the point of, do you have the authority to send the water up there? I think it's gonna go back to this. Just my thinking.
Sharon Jordan, 77 Bird Street. What is the AJC?
The Housing,
You can answer it. It's the, I don't know the exact acronym.
Housing Appeals Committee.
Housing.
They are the leg of the affordable, or the group that you file with the state for the housing program.
okay, is there any other public comment?
Can I ask a question to you, Mr. Chairman? The question I have is, it's odd to me that the town of Lunenburg was not advised of this meeting and what was going on, because they are party of this action.
Of this meeting today?
Not this meeting, of the action that is going through the courts, gonna be going through the courts.
I don't think that's up to us to advise the town.
No, hold on. You don't understand what I'm saying.
Okay,
It isn't, but, there are two parties here, the town of Lunenburg and the proponent, okay? And only the proponent was brought in, and it just seems, unusual to me.
Well, maybe I misunderstand it, but the proponent, me, wasn't the only one that was there.
Who was there?
Adam Costa from the
Oh, he
town of
was there.
Lunenburg,
Oh, I
yeah.
didn't hear.
Well, as I said, they asked him, the woman, the attorney for the HAC, asked him if he could get,
Okay, that clears it up for me, thanks.
anything else?
No, absolutely.
think about it.
We're closing it. We're closing the it's
Well, I know where you live.
All right, we skipped over one thing, commissioner's report, to go to public
Commissioner
comment.
Superintendent.
None, okay. All right,
I got something to bring up, and it's got a little, this is just me, as a commissioner sitting here, reading the Lunenburg Ledger, and, this is probably more for the rebroadcast of the both people that might watch this. I was a little disheartened to read some of the letters to the editor throughout this last time, and it really has a lot to do with the water department and some of the negative tone that's taken with us, and there's a couple of them that brought up to even maybe a question our integrity, which I personally have a real problem with. All our meetings are open to the public. We obey the open meeting law. We discuss this with public comment in our community. Our goal here is to provide clean drinking water to this town at the best rate and the best service. That's our job as we sit up here as commissioners and to the hard people that work here. So to read some of this trash that gets published in here by special interest groups, I have a problem with. And any of those people that write on those and those letters that go into there, I welcome to come in here and have an open discussion with us if you really feel that we're violating some sort of any type of law or anything like that. We've been open, we've been honest about the projects we wish to do, and it's as simple as that. That there is hearsay, and that there just it propagates negative connotation that we don't need in this town anywhere. So that's just my 2 cents on that as my sitting here as a commissioner.
Okay.
Anything else?
You're on Superintendent Commissioner's Edition, is that what you're on for agenda item? Or was that something different?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just got a couple things I want to talk about.
Yeah, okay.
So, I mean, the big thing, I mean, everybody in town knows my big thing is PFAS, whatever you want to call it. I'm a big pusher for getting the Hickory Hills well put back online. You know, I have my own opinions. No one likes to listen to my opinion. I mean, we're not going to affect the lake, whatever. But I think we need to start looking at the facts, reality. Okay, EPA just came out with new proposed regulations. It's not finalized, it's just proposed. Okay, so right now the limit is 20 parts per trillion. And they look at several different contaminants and they come up with a number. As long as you're under 20, you're good to go. Okay, so now EPA has specific, two of them they're looking at specifically. The PFOS, and they want a maximum of 4 parts per trillion, and then PFOA at 4 parts per trillion. So I looked at some of the results we have for some of our wells. So we have the Keating well and the wells in Lancaster Ave. We all know about Hickory Hills. That one blew all these numbers away, so that one definitely is available for funding and treatment. But so from 2021 to 2023, Keating's highest producing well has a range of that from 3.85 to 4.77 parts per trillion. So that is slightly under that number or over that number. So okay, so down the road we're talking they think this regulation will be in effect by the end of 23. So
What will happen if we have to shut the Keating's well off?
well, and this is where the scare tactics come in, but they don't believe me. It's because no one wants to listen to me anymore. They think I just say scare tactics. So I asked this specific question. If the well exceeds a level, can we still run that well? And they said no. That well will need to go offline as a active, normal operated source. If there was a fire, a huge demand, a short source thing, you could run it short term. Okay?
Sure.
All the other towns, like Littleton, and the engineers named a bunch of towns, they run above ground water mains for like a mile so they can get to another source and dilute it.
Mm-hmm.
So Keating well is 4 miles away from any of our other sources. We're not going to run an above ground water pipe 4 miles to dilute it with the other ones. Okay, so let's go a little further now. So on Lancaster Ave, we have 4 active wells. The highest producing well is well number 5. It's a tubular well field, 4 wells out back, and that one has levels of 5.3. So that one exceeds the PFOA results. So 2 highest producing wells, Keating's and well number 5 on Lancaster Ave, are exceeding these numbers. So I'm not saying these numbers are going to make it through the regulations and that's the number, the 4 parts per trillion, but that's what they're proposing. So it all comes to me. I mean, I keep saying no one, everybody got their own little save the lake kind of people, but to me, we need to push that well and get that thing going, because if we take one of these sources offline, specifically Keating well, we take that offline, we're in deep trouble. I hate to use the word, but we're screwed. You know, because Lancaster cannot run full capacity for multiple days, especially without well number 5. We're going to go back to where we were in the 60s. And, yeah, just a heads up. We're looking down the gun's pointed at us.
It's a scary
you know?
scenario that
Yeah,
hopefully we can get ahead of.
Yeah, and I think we need to get on top of this, you know, and...
I agree.
You know, I mean, you know, a lot of people coming in doing absentee votes and they have no clue about this well or any of that. They're just voting for their buddy down there and it's, I'm not supposed to say this stuff in public meeting.
Right. Well,
I've got a comment I'd like to make myself.
Yeah, is it, we got, okay, good.
No, you all
oh,
set?
you all done, or?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's good.
I thought
Yeah,
you were
that's
done.
good. Well, I just, a little nothing, we had to, we're doing maintenance on the Keating well currently. When we had the storm, we lost power for quite a while, over a day. We don't have backup power on Lancaster Ave. So we were kind of heading down a road, we were getting nervous, the tanks were getting low. So I contacted the fire chief, I'm like, hey, can you call Unitil, get some ideas of what's going on, and how the timeframes on stuff? And luckily everything worked out okay, but I mean, we were getting down to the point where we were gonna start scrambling. So I just wanted to let you guys know that, you know, either we do something, Lancaster, some kind of backup generator if the Hickory Hills ever goes, whatever, you know.
Sure.
We need redundancy on that side too. So that was all I got.
Okay, my comment is, I don't know if everybody watched the news 3 or 4 days ago about the union for the Boston Fire Department. They're suing the company that provides and makes the fire protection uniforms for the Boston Fire Department. And they're suing them because the uniforms are full of PFAS, and a lot of the firemen are getting cancer. So that's one thing. And if you don't believe me, you can just look online and see what the deal is. But the other thing is, the opponent that's running against me Saturday is against everything the water department wants to do. He's against the treatment plant, which is going to take the PFAS out of your drinking water, so it'll be safe to drink. And he's not for the people of the town of Lunenburg, he's for the people where he lives. And I think the people of Lunenburg, if you're a registered voter, you should get in here Saturday morning and vote for the person who's going to protect the water system in this town. And it's not the guy that's running against me. We're going to have a lot of problems if we don't get this treatment plant built. Like Fran just said, you might not have any water to drink. And that's going to be a real sad situation. And it's not a joke, and it's not a lie. So I would appreciate whatever you have to do to keep the Lunenburg water system running and keep it safe. You should do it, and you should do it Saturday morning.
I believe we had one question. I know we're kind of past that, but just up.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Kim Duffy, 1479 Nassau. I wanted to comment on one of the topics about the PFAS levels. I just wanted to make a comment as someone who's in the water district that, you know, considering the future potential shortfall of well availability, I'd really like the water district to consider outbounding all of these large new developments, you know, individually they all add up, and how like that will fit into the water district availability of water in the future. You know, considering the potential limited water, we should really commit to the current residents of the town providing water. So, you know, I just wanted to make that comment.
Thank you. I make a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Did you have anything?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
No, everybody all set?
Okay. Anything else?
Thanks for asking me. Yeah.
I think we still do.
I think you missed a day.
I'm all set.
Okay,
Did you,
No, I know.
are we done?
We're done.
yes. we're
Okay.
done.
We approve.
Making